In Unit 4, we are going to cover how to title vehicles, how to do dealer reassignments. We're going to talk about how the purchaser is going to choose the county for registration. We'll talk about license plate transfers, foreign and imported vehicles. We'll delve into web dealer and e-title, which is part of the same system now, inspections, salvage titles, and then I'm going to give you a link to nationwide motor vehicle bureaus. Let's talk about titling vehicles. When a dealer sells a vehicle, a retail purchaser on the lot, then the state law requires you complete all documents necessary to title and register the vehicle in the customer's name. A dealer may be exempt from transferring title based on the vehicle's weight, and we'll talk about those exceptions here in just a moment. You'll also be required to file paperwork with the appropriate county tax assessor collector's office within 30 days of the sale when the vehicle was paid for with cash or if the dealer is using a third-party lender. If a dealer is financing the vehicle, the dealer is required to file the paperwork with the appropriate county assessor collector's office within 45 days. So if you're our buy here, pay here dealer, they do give you a few more days on that. If your customer goes to the assessor collector's office to transfer the title of a vehicle purchased by a dealer, then an official complaint will be filed with the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles against that dealer, and the dealer may face disciplinary action. So we can never allow our customers to take the title work in. We are required under state law to do the title work. You must complete all documents required to register and title most vehicles you sell on your lot to a retail customer. It is Texas law. As you see here, there are a few exemptions when a dealer is not required to complete the documents that are required to register the vehicle, such as maybe that vehicle has been declared a total loss, or if you're selling a salvage or a non-repairable vehicle, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. Vehicles purchased by an out-of-state resident who's immediately leaving the state. Okay, we're not going to do their title paperwork. They'll basically take it back to their home state and do that. Vehicles sold to out-of-state or foreign residents or dealers. Okay, and remember, trucks over 11,000 pounds we're not going to do that. That would be like a semi-truck. Trailers weighing less than 4,000 pounds gross weight are going to be exempt. Vehicles sold to a government agency such as a county or a city. An example of this would be, let's say, for example, you sell 10 vehicles to your local city. They would be exempt. However, just to let you know, when a city is buying a fleet of vehicles, they would normally purchase the vehicles new from a franchisor. And, that's just kind of a general example. Next, I want to go over assigning titles. The state of Texas allows licensed motor vehicle dealers to do what's known as a reassignment of ownership. A dealer is allowed to purchase a vehicle from one person, then reassign the ownership of the vehicle to another person. And you might think of this as flipping a vehicle for a profit. A Texas dealer license number is required on all assignments and reassignments of a motor vehicle title. I want you to be aware of that, okay? A dealer that holds an independent dealer's license, that's your GDN, is never allowed to reassign a manufacturer certificate of origin. An MCO is the document that's used when a franchisor is selling a brand new vehicle. Well, we're used dealers, so only franchise dealers selling brand new vehicles are allowed to sell vehicles on an MCO. That's your manufacturer certificate of origin. If you ever even purchase a new vehicle from a franchisor on an MCO, you're going to be required to title that vehicle and register the vehicle before reselling, at which time it would no longer be new, it would be used, even if there's only 2 or 3 miles on it. So make sure if you ever buy a vehicle from a franchisor to resell, you got to title it, and it is no longer new, it's used, okay? Now, a dealer's not required to title or register a used vehicle in the dealership's name before assigning the vehicle to a subsequent purchaser. However, if the dealer wants to register any vehicle, the dealer must file an application for Texas title. For example, let's say you purchase a vehicle at a dealer auction and you would like to use it as a towing vehicle, then you would need to register, pay sales tax, and title that vehicle. That's what we call a service vehicle. When you are purchasing a vehicle to resell, whether you are purchasing it from an individual, directly from another dealer, or a dealer auction, you must ensure that you're completing the title correctly. You're going to be in charge of the deal. So it is important that you know how to complete the title correctly, whether you are buying or selling the vehicle. Many dealers purchase all their vehicles from dealer auctions. And, when you purchase a vehicle from a dealer auction, you're going to stand in line after the sale at the title auction, at the dealer auction's title clerk desk. And, the title clerk's going to direct you where to sign, because dealer auctions complete, several thousands of vehicle titles on a weekly basis. And they will easily show you how to complete that title before you leave the auction. Sometimes you will purchase a vehicle directly from an individual. Many dealers run advertisements to buy vehicles from individuals, and you can, never make a profit on a vehicle until you purchase a vehicle to resell. Okay, so we can't make money selling vehicles until we have initially purchased a vehicle to resell. You are constantly searching for vehicles to purchase so you can resell those vehicles for a profit. If you're searching for vehicles to buy from individuals, maybe on eBay, Craigslist, Facebook Market, or maybe your own local newspaper, you will need to ensure the person selling that vehicle has the legal selling rights to that vehicle. So let's say, for example, when you locate a vehicle you're interested in purchasing, you're going to need to contact that seller and ask the very, very important question: is the title in your name? I want to repeat that. When you're buying a vehicle from an individual, you need to ask the very, very important question: is the title in your name? If the seller states the title is in their name, they normally have the legal selling rights. And if the seller's name is on the title, then you can purchase that vehicle. However, many times the seller may state that the name is not theirs that's on the title. Okay, they may say something like, no, the title's not in my name. I bought this vehicle from my neighbor. He signed the back of the title, and you can just come on over me. And this is what is called an open title. Okay, an open title is illegal in all 50 states. So if you think about this, the person attempting to sell you that vehicle has asked the previous owner just to sign the back of the title and did not complete the purchaser's information correctly. And here you see an example of an illegal open title. Okay, now let's magnify this example so we can discuss the importance of identifying open titles. You can see right here where the previous seller was asked to print and sign their name. However, the purchaser's information has been left blank. Possession of this title is illegal. Okay, I want to repeat that. The possession of this title is illegal. The person attempting to sell you this vehicle is basically acting as a non-licensed person, illegally acting as a dealer. This person has not completed all the legal steps that you have completed in order to obtain your dealer's license. Not only is this transaction illegal, why in the world would we ever support the operations of an illegal dealer, an unlicensed person that's acting as a dealer? So you want to step away from this transaction. And I guarantee you, when you are purchasing vehicles from an individual, you're going to have that person that says, no, the title's not in my name. I bought this vehicle from my brother-in-law a couple of months ago. He signed the back of it, and you can just come on over here and buy from me. I do this all the time. Step away from that transaction immediately. That is an illegal transaction, okay? So as a reminder, when purchasing a vehicle from an individual, be sure you are only purchasing the vehicle from the person whose name is clearly printed on the front of the title. You never ever want to possess a blank or open title. Sometimes they call them a skip title because somebody's skipped the payment of sales tax. When you've established the person selling the vehicle is the rightful owner, you're going to need to complete the first assignment of ownership at the top of the title here. You are basically assigning the ownership of the vehicle from the person selling the vehicle to your dealership. So when a dealer purchases a vehicle to resell or takes a vehicle on trade, the dealership's name and address must be entered as the purchaser on the back of the title or on the dealer's reassignment form in the name of the purchaser section, okay? The name you enter must match the name on your dealer's license exactly. Remember, the purchaser is always the person that is buying the vehicle, and the seller is always the person that is selling this vehicle. So here's an example of an assignment on the back of a title. I want to magnify this for you as well. When purchasing a vehicle to resell, be sure to include the purchaser's name and address. Remember that odometer reading and whether or not the odometer is accurate. The date of the sale, the signature of the seller, the printed name of the seller, the signature of the buyer. So in this case, let's say we're buying a vehicle from an individual. That would be us. The printed name of the buyer. Be sure to complete the assignment in the entirety. Leaving any parts blank could be a violation of the law. So you want to make sure that you are completing this correctly. Now, you will note on the back of a Texas title, it has 4 assignment boxes, which allow basically 4 dealer-to-dealer sales or, reassignments. The wholesale market in Texas, very strong. And there's going to be several occasions where you might find a vehicle that has been bought and sold between several dealers before it finally goes to the retail customer. So an example of this could be, maybe one dealer purchases a vehicle directly from an individual and then takes it directly to sell at a dealer auction. Then maybe another dealer realizes the prices at another dealer auction in another side of the city are going a little higher. So they might purchase that vehicle at one dealer auction and then take it to another dealer auction to sell the following week. Then maybe another dealer purchases the vehicle from that dealer auction, then sells it to a dealer across the street. And then that dealer sells it to a dealer in another state, for example. So here you see examples of first and second and third reassignments of the title here. So here you can see, here's the first assignment was that's the assignment of ownership. Then the first reassignment, where maybe you sold that to another dealer, for example, okay? Then you're going to see here the second reassignment. Then you see the third reassignment. And now you see that this is what we call a full title, okay? So here, when the third assignment and all the spaces are completed, we refer to as a full title that has no more reassignment spaces. But I want to show you this great form. You would think that when you buy a vehicle that has all the reassignment boxes taken up there, that you would not be able to resell the vehicle. But I want to show you this really talk about this great form here. It's called a dealer's assignment of title form. It's VTR 41A. Okay. Now this is a secure document I'm going to talk about here. We can't download this anywhere. Okay. You're going to have to obtain this from your regional service center. Okay. So this is not a document that you can download, but for some reason, if you don't know where your closest regional service center is, you can always go right to their website. And then you'll be able to click on find your local office and click on the regional service center map right there. And it's going to show you your closest regional service center. So you definitely want to have some of these on file, because a VTR 41A, it will allow us to buy a vehicle that has a full title, and then you will still be able to turn right around and sell that. So we can use this even when all the assignments on the back of the form are full, okay? Now, once a dealer has completed an assignment form VTR 41A and all the assignments on that, then basically we would not be able to sell that vehicle again until we get a brand new title. Okay, so if you are using a VTR form, it is very important that you fill out the title correctly. Okay. So how we're going to do this, okay, we are basically going to go ahead and fill out the sections normally, but if you're using VTR 41A, then you also have to right here, reassignment on, and it's going to have the VTR form number right here, okay? So that's what that form number is. So make sure that you fill this out. If you are using a reassignment form, that's VTR 41A, then you'll need to write reassignment on, and then the VTR form number there. And remember, we can get that VTR form number from our regional service center, okay? So just also remember that the left corner of that VTR form is going to be where you actually see the VTR form number, okay? So just keep in mind, dealers are responsible for filling out paperwork for, trailers and semi-trailers in excess of 34,000 pounds, even if they are for farm use. But one thing I definitely want you to be aware of, and this is so important to be aware of here, okay? The purchaser must select a county for vehicles to be registered. And I want to repeat that. We're going to go in depth on this. You must allow the person buying the vehicle to select a county for the vehicle to be registered, okay? And they're going to have one of three counties that they're going to choose to have that vehicle registered, okay? The dealer is not allowed to make this selection. The purchaser must choose one of the following three county registration options, okay? They are either going to register it in the county where the sale took place, or in the county in which the customer lives, or the county of the lien holder. So they're either going to register it in the county where the sale took place, normally that will be your dealership, the county in which the customer lives, or the county of the lien holder. So the retail purchaser must designate one of the three county options for the vehicle they have purchased from you to be registered. The dealer is required to have the purchaser complete a county of title issuance form, VTR 136, and always keep records of everything in your keep copies of records of everything. Every document that you fill out, you certainly want to have copies of. This form must be completed when all retail sales by the dealer when the vehicle is being titled in the state of Texas. And the title transfer document and fees must be sent to the county that is chosen by the purchaser. This form is not submitted with other documentation that you're submitting with your own county tax assessor's collector. So the only exception to VTR 136 would be when a vehicle is declared a total loss, a salvage vehicle that has not been rebuilt, a vehicle purchased by a customer that lives in another state and is taking it out of the state immediately, a vehicle is purchased by a person in another country that's taking it out of the country immediately. Also, vehicles sold by out-of-state dealers would be exempt from VTR 136. Trailers and trucks over 11,000 pounds and trailers that weigh less than 4,000 pounds. And here's that form that I was talking about. This is your VTR 136. Okay, so this is that form that we were talking about. So this does allow your customer to choose the county of registration. Now, when you're completing form VTR 136, be sure to enter all the information for the vehicle that's sold and then only enter the county to be registered in at the time of the sale of the vehicle. Remember, the customer's got to choose that county. Never enter a county before the sale, since state law requires that the purchaser selects the county of registration. So then you're going to have the purchaser sign and handprint their name. And, in the rare scenario that a county office is closed, then there at the bottom, the customer can choose an alternative county to have the vehicle registered. Okay, that'd be very rare. But if they do need an alternative county, then they can certainly enter the alternative county there. So the dealer's going to have to sign and date this as well. And be sure you keep copies of all documents that you complete on every vehicle that you sell. Okay, you're never going to have too much paperwork. And, I think it's a great idea to make 2 copies of everything. One goes to the customer and one goes into the dealer records. So you will never have too much documentation. So that's your VTR form 136. Remember, state law does require that the purchaser, that's the person buying the vehicle from you, chooses the county of registration. Okay. Now I want to talk about license plate transfers. Okay. Licensed motor vehicle dealers may use form VTR 904 to transfer license plates from a purchaser's Texas registered vehicle to a newly purchased vehicle at the time of the sale. Okay, this is allowed by law. The dealer is required to remove the plates and sticker on cars that are 6,000 pounds or less and light trucks that are 10,000 pounds or less at the time of the trade-in or the dealer purchase. I want to repeat that. The dealer is required to remove the plates and sticker on cars that are 6,000 pounds or less and light trucks that are 10,000 pounds or less at the time of the trade-in or the purchase. So make sure that you're getting this taken care of. This is a law. The form I'm going to show you here in just a little bit may be used for general issue or specialty license plates as well. And, license plates must be in good condition with a readable plate number suitable for transfer. And there's no fee to transfer those plates. And you can download this form that I'll show you here in a little bit. We've got most of them there at texasdealers.com, or you can always go to Google or whatever your favorite search engine is and type in Texas VTR 904. And here you're going to see that VTR 904, okay? So as you're going to see right there on your VTR 904, you're going to make sure and enter all the purchaser's information, your dealer information. Don't ever forget to put your dealer number in here. Sometimes we call it your P number, the vehicle identification number. And then select the vehicle type. Be sure to only select one of these 4 boxes. Never check more than one. Check only one. Enter the license plate number and the license plate name, then have the purchaser sign and print their name, then date. And be sure this form is used every time you transfer a license plate from the purchaser's previous vehicle to the vehicle they are purchasing from you. Okay, so keep that in mind. And, I want to just always give you a quick reminder. I know we go through a lot of information here, but you can always, review the manual that you downloaded. That's pretty extensive there. There's a lot of content in your manual that you downloaded at the beginning of the course. But after the course and after you've completed the course and downloaded your certificate, you can always go right back to texasdealers.com. And at that time, you can just scroll down on any page, either click on Texas Dealer Forms or Texas Dealer Videos or Texas Dealer Manuals. And we will always try to keep all that information updated for you. Next, I want to talk about foreign and imported vehicles. Importing a vehicle from another state. The following information must be included when purchasing a vehicle from another state. Proof of inspection, that's a vehicle inspection report. Vehicle inspection report is also required on Texas titles when reflecting VIN certification waived when applying for registration. Odometer disclosure is required unless the vehicle is exempt. An original out-of-state title or other valid ownership evidence. Proof of sales tax payment or current foreign or military ownership document. Completed Form 130-U. The applicant names on Form 130-U must match that are reflected on a government-issued photo identification per law as well. Importing vehicles from other countries. The following information must be included when purchasing a vehicle from another country. The vehicle must meet all federal and state importation requirements prior to titling or registering the vehicle in Texas. You will need some forms from the United States Custom and Border Protection Office documenting the vehicle has been legally imported through customs, and that is required. You might go to Google and search for CBP vehicle import forms to assist you. Your vehicle must meet the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority standards. You're going to need to obtain a safety inspection. Your vehicle must pass a Texas vehicle safety inspection if you're going to be obtaining registration. You can have your vehicle inspected at any Texas certified safety inspection station. The inspection station will provide you with an original vehicle inspection report signed by the inspector. You'll also need a VIN inspection. The vehicle must be inspected by a trained auto theft investigator who is a law enforcement officer in the state of Texas. The investigator also must be an employee of either a municipal police auto theft unit or a county sheriff's department auto theft unit, Texas Department of Public Safety Criminal Investigations Division, or the Auto Burglary and Theft Prevention Authority Task Force, or any authorized employee of the National Insurance Crime Bureau. Upon completion of this VIN inspection, you will be provided with an original law enforcement identification number inspection, which is called Form VTR 68A, that is signed by the investigator. After your vehicle passes customs, federal, and state inspections, you can just take all of your documentation to your county tax office, and they will certainly assist you in registering that vehicle.